I got this quad for 250 bucks. I got it as a part of a deal. I got three bikes, each one for 250. None of them run. All of them are broken. But I thought it was decent. This is a kind of a bigger quad that I'm used to getting. This is a 200cc and it's quite big. However, everything else, all the components kind of work the same. So I'm not too scared of a challenge. I checked the oil on this one. It looked very good. Check all the components. It has everything installed, so I wasn't. So that came kind of gave me a warm and fuzzy. The only thing that some of the issues that I see in this bike is the fuel tank. It looks extremely dirty inside. The fuel is, yeah, it looks brown. Honestly, I look at the. I'll show you later, but the fuel filter is completely like brown. So I'm assuming it's rust and just from sitting for a long time. So I'm gonna have to clean really. I'm gonna have to clean the tank really well before I even put anything in there. And from that, I'm not sure about the condition of the carburetor. It looks good in the outside, but I have to really open it up and check it. I was just gonna go ahead and replace it, but then again, I saw that it is from like a. It's made in Japan, so I think their quality is pretty good as compared to just a knockoff Chinese generic brand. So I'm gonna attempt to clean this. If that doesn't work, then I'll definitely go ahead and buy a new one. But I'm gonna try to clean this as is. I believe in the quality of the Japanese bike, so um, that's the only reason I'm cleaning. Otherwise, if it was just generic, I would go ahead and replace it. Another things that are wrong with this bike is the kickstart. Actually, it doesn't even not, not even engaging at anything here. It's spring loaded, but I feel like it's not turning anything at all throughout its range. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like right up here, or that's the right position, but I mean, it really touches all the way down to the footwell, and it's not even catching anything. So I might fix this. It really depends on whether or not all the other components work, but I'll attempt to fix this. Hopefully, I can do it. Another thing, obviously, didn't have battery. I did have battery here, so I just kind of plugged that in just to test everything out as I'm going through it. So this I put this in there. It wasn't installed. Another thing, oh, the front brakes. The parking brake doesn't work. It's cable. It's a cable brake, and comes to the rear, and it literally just moves with it all the way down. So I'm either have to troubleshoot that and see what's wrong with it, but it's not doing anything at all. Also, the front brakes are barely even braking, so I'm gonna have to adjust those. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to replace the um, yeah, either tying it up or or replace the brake pads. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on that. I'll attempt first to adjust the cables, and then if that doesn't work, then I'm going to go ahead and probably end up replacing the front brake pads. I'm trying to think of other stuff that I found wrong with this bike. Um, I just see the fuel cap is really like, I'm not sure if you can tell from here. It has all this white dust in here. It's pretty much from corrosion. So I'm gonna have to really clean this, and then I don't really like this a lot. Looks pretty bad. Gives it a bad look of the exterior. So I'm definitely gonna clean this out and obviously clean this interior out, just not only for aesthetics but also for the, the fuel tank being clean. Um, what else did I see in this bike? The throttle only goes a little bit, and I think it was just adjusted incorrectly. So it has, you should have supposed to have a decent amount of range of motion, and it has very little. So I'm gonna look into that and adjust that as necessary. So besides all that, the good things about the bike, the tires are great. All of them hold air. The rear cylinder brake works. The electrical is working. I'll be showing you that into detail a little later. And overall, the size and the price seems right to me. So hopefully, I can get this bike fixed up and ready to go. We'll see what we can do with this bike. Alrighty. So I did plug the battery. Terminals are in. I checked for the fuse and it is installed. Let me open this up a little more. It is installed and has a spare there, so that's a pretty good sign. Close this up. And coming to the fuel tank, obviously I already talked about the fuel cap, how bad it looks. I'm not sure if I can get a decent look in here. It's really I just need a good lubrication in there. I can't really see it in there, but I'll look into that later here. But I'm gonna turn the switch on. It is in neutral right now, and my light indication is coming on neutral. I will press. I'm gonna attempt to do something real quick, see if it starts or at least turns over. So I got brake press. This is in the on, and this should be the. Okay, it turns over. That's awesome. So I'm not gonna mess with that too much. All right. I think I'm pretty happy that the lights indications are on. That's all good signs. Let's look into the fuel tank just to show you a little bit of what I saw in there. So it's pretty much empty this time, but there's a ton of white little residue in there, so from corrosion. So I'm gonna have to clean all that up, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna give my best shot in there. So I just removed the spark plug. I put my little leads on there, one to ground, one to the spark plug, and we're gonna find out whether it has spark. Let's hope it does. So I'm gonna press it here. I have both brakes in there, and let's check it out. So it does. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm gonna put it closer. Awesome. So we got spark. Let's put that back on. Right now I'm going to remove this carburetor. Looks like it's got I gotta remove this. This is where the cable, throttle cable. This is the choke. And there's one hose here that I gotta disconnect. And I think that's it. What I'm gonna remove it for is I'm gonna remove it to clean it out and at least inspect the interior. Hopefully it's good. It is right here, it says it's, I'm not sure if you can read it there, but it says it's right there. This is a Japanese brand, so that's the only reason I'm gonna clean it. Otherwise I would just go ahead and replace it. All right, I'll be taking that off. Yeah, this is carburetor. It has 4 little screws here with the Phillips. And I'm going to take these off, see the condition inside. Let's check it out. Not too tight. It seems like they're coming off without much trouble. It always bothers me when they're seized and I have to use pliers to remove these. I'm gonna see if I can get away with cleaning this, and hopefully it works. If not, then I'm definitely replacing it. Sometimes it's a waste of time just to try to clean these out. Wow, look at that. That is awful. Pretty bad news here. It is totally green and I don't have a sonic cleaner. So that is pretty bad. And then I'm going to show you, this is green all around. Definitely not good. So I'm still going to attempt to clean this, but it's still definitely all gummed up. And it's probably never going to start that way. Alright, let's get it cleaned up. Alrighty, so I'm opting to go ahead and replace this carburetor, as is pretty much not going to work. It's way too gone. It's way too dirty. The seal's probably bad. I don't have a kit to repair it. I thought I might be able to just clean it and put it in, but its condition is way too it's too gone for me to try to repair, unless I had a sonic cleaner, but I do not have a sonic cleaner currently. And also the seat here is damaged. I could not get this needle out for a while until I used some pliers, but I ended up damaging it a little bit. Plus it was already kind of worn here. It's kind of hard to focus in there, but it had a groove in there, and I don't think it's gonna, close when I needed to close. It's gonna flood the carburetor. Also, look at this. It's just completely out. And the other main reason I don't want to actually repair it and clean it is because it says designed in Japan. It's not made in Japan. So I'm not really feeling it here. So I'm just going to go ahead and order a new one. They're not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. So it just saved me the work of having to clean it and then put it on and not work anymore. So I'm going to have to go ahead and order a new one of this carburetor. I have to wait for it for a little bit. So I have this little valve here, and it's opening and closing, but nothing's going through. So it's just probably clogged. And if you look at the color of that filter, look at that. It is completely red brown. So I'm going to have to pretty much drain all this stuff out and hopefully replace all these hoses and have it ready for when the carburetor gets here. So that's what I'm going to be working on right now. I'm going to take this hose out, see how much junk comes out. I'm pretty sure this thing is clogged. Well, and nothing came out. So, well, let's take everything out and see if actually what I'll do is I'm gonna take it out from here. I don't want stuff to drain out. I know the tank doesn't have that much fuel in there, but I don't want to make a mess. Well, that came out, and look at that. That is completely clogged out and nothing's coming out. So it's pretty bad. Yeah, at least it was put up the right way. You can see the arrow right there pointing out. So nice. I'll be checking this out. Alright, so after I removed all the hoses, what I found out was right there in this valve, right there, it's clogged. It was never going to get fuel through that. So I'm going to be replacing this little piece. Also, I kind of fed a, here's the mouth of the, where all the fuel comes out. This was also clogged, so I pushed it up and cleaned it out. It turns out the tank is not as dirty as I thought. It just has something in the end here, some little like flakes. So I'm gonna clean those out, but the rest of the tank actually looks pretty clean. So I'm gonna clean. So my plan right now is I have my vacuum hose right now, and I'm gonna suck those little particles out of inside the fuel tank, and hopefully that should get it done. And I'm gonna replace the hoses, but I'm gonna have to replace this valve because it's beyond repair as well. The stuff that's inside the fuel tank is like kind of sticky, so I'm not sure what it is. I don't know, honestly. It's just some sticky, I want to think kind of like when sugar kind of dries up, but I'm not sure. So, all right, I'm gonna vacuum this out and then I'll replace the hoses. Already vacuumed out and cleaned very well the inside of the tank. I took all that debris out of there, and it looks pretty good and clean. As well as the bottom here, I have make sure where the fuel comes out, I make sure that was clean. I put in a brand new hose, brand new fuel filter, and a brand new hose coming out to the carburetor. I eliminated the valve just so, because I know I can just clamp this and close out the fuel, and I'm just pretty much prepped for whenever the carburetor gets here. I'll be ready to plug that in. So I'm also going to see the CDIs kind of just hanging around, so I'm going to make sure I secure that. Now at this point I am moving on into adjusting the brakes. I have a little bit of about an inch here that I could stick these out. Hopefully that will give me enough play to tighten up the brakes so they work properly as they should. So that's going to be my next product here. That's a little better. Cut this out. All right. As I didn't mention before, this light here is, I have the cover and everything. It just is missing the bulb in there, so I'm gonna have to find one for it. Hopefully it works. I should probably try to measure voltage and see if I'm getting voltage there. If not, then if I am getting voltage, then I can at least know that if I replace the bulb, it'll work. If not, then I know that something wrong with this light. I'm gonna clean this fuel cap. As you can see, it's really rusted out, so it just doesn't give a good look, and so was the side. So I got my Ear Pro right now, and I'm gonna turn this machine on. It looks like it's, well, let's see how well it does. So I have this brand new, I just received this brand new carburetor for the quad, and I'll be installing it. It looks in pretty good shape after shipping, so it should be, it's brand new. So I'm going to be installing this in here, and then see how long it takes me. Alright, so after replacing the carburetor, so the carburetor is now on, I plugged in the line into it, and then I poured some fuel in there. And to my surprise, it was leaking fuel. It wasn't from the line. I couldn't figure out where it was from, but I realized. So what I did is, basically, it was leaking from somewhere where this hose meets the tank, so I wasn't sure where. Let me show you a little better, I guess. It was leaking from somewhere around here, because I could just see it drip down next to the line. So originally I was going to put this one on, plug it in and fill it with water, and try to see again where it leaked from. But then what I did is I just turned all the light off in the garage and darked it all out. I grabbed my flashlight, put it through here, and once it's really dark, you'll see where the light comes out, and it'll tell you exactly where the leak is coming from. So it's basically coming off somehow. I think the stem got damaged from somebody pulling or yanking on it, and on the other side, on the right side, on the edge, there's a little crack in there where I could see the light coming through. So I'm gonna have to fix that. I think I'm gonna opt to take the tank out and then fix it while it's outside. It's also kind of dangerous because it is a fuel tank, and you know, weld spark kind of gets a little bit dicey. So I'll be working on that now. I had a leak, and I noticed that had several pinholes right along where the fuel exits. So I don't know if you could see them right there. So it's 3 and then 4 psych. I think somebody just pulled it and then just kind of made a crack on there. So I'm gonna have to weld that, and hopefully they can get it sealed. I washed it with water inside, and hopefully. I did a light test on this. I welded all this around, and I did a light test on I put the light on the back side and dimmed everything out, and it looks like it's sealed. I mean, if light can't escape, neither can water. All right, at this point I have installed the fuel tank again. I put some fuel in there, and I put all the lines on there, and I'm getting no leaks on the top, so that actually worked out. The next thing I'm going to be working on is this, the kickstart. Basically, I feel the spring tension when I press it down, but it's not actuating anything. It's not turning over the engine, so I'm not quite sure what it's going to be. So we're going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8 bolts around this thing, take it off, and then we're going to find out what's wrong with it. Alright, so at this point I have removed all the bolts. It was actually 8 bolts. Like 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. So now we're going to remove this. I'm hoping I don't have to take this off, because I feel like it's going to come with it unless this goes attached to this. So I might not be able to take it off. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think so. So I'm going to have to remove this leg right here. So I ended up removing this cover in order to remove the Kickstarter. Unfortunately, I found that part of the case is broken on that part, so I can't fix it. So unfortunately, this quad's gonna just have to be electric start only this time. So, oh well. But everything else is good. We're gonna give it a start. See if we'll give it a shot. See if it starts, and I think that's going to be it. All right, so this is a 200cc quad. The problem with this one was the carburetor was too old and it was broken down. The fuel system was clogged. There was this little fuel valve, so I removed that. And then the fuel tank was leaking from the part where the fuel exits. So I had to weld that. It was kind of dangerous, so I had to get it cleaned out very good before I started welding at any point in time. Aside from that, I adjusted the brakes, put a new battery, and adjusted the parking brake. One thing I did not do on this one, I tried to fix the kickstand, the Kickstarter, but the part where the shaft went in was broken in the case. So that's beyond my skill level. So I ended up not doing that at all. So at this time I'm gonna just start it up and just kind of show you guys how, if I got it to run. Right, so here both brakes are on. Key is on. There it is. Gotta press brake on this one. It's a neutral. There it is. All right, this concludes my video. Thanks.